Welcome to Financial Charts with William, a place to supercharge your finances. Let's talk about personal budget, balance sheets, and 6 easy steps. A step-by-step guide to creating and using a budget or a balance sheet. What is budgeting or a budget? How to make a personal budget. Step 1, gather all your financial records. Step 2, adding up your income. Step 3, making a list of your monthly income. Step 4, defining fixed and variable expenses. Step 5, add your monthly income and expenses up. Step 6, keep on checking on your budget. We'll also talk about common budget tips. And finally, the wrap up. Let's get started with personal budgets and balance sheets in 6 easy steps. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, or follow. Check out the links in the video description for investment apps. I like Webull, Robinhood, Coinbase, or check out my merch. I'm sure you all heard all about how a budget is necessary for you to become an adult. Maybe you're not entirely sure what a budget is and why you need to have one in the first place. I understand. It can be difficult to understand why you need to have a budget if you have plenty of money and have plenty saved in your bank account to cover all your expenses. Simply knowing how much money is sitting in the bank does not tell you much about your financial health and how much money you need to have to reach your goals you may have for yourself or your family. Let's look at what a budget is at its core. What is budgeting? Or what is a budget? Budgeting is a process of creating a plan to spend your money. The spending plan is called a budget. Creating this plan allows you to determine in advance whether you have enough money to do things you need to do. What is a budget? It is an important planning and forecasting process to help you manage your money. If they don't balance, you spend more than you make. You will have a problem. Many people don't realize that they spend more than they actually earn and slowly sink deeper into debt every year. If you don't have enough money to do the things you'd like to do, then you can use the planning process to prioritize your spending and focus your money on things that are most important to you. Why is budgeting so important? Since budgeting allows you to create a spending plan for your money, it ensures that you will have enough money for all the things you need and the things that are important to you. Following the budget or spending plan will keep you out of debt or help you work your way out of debt if you are currently in debt. How to make a budget in 6 simple steps. To create a budget that works and allows you to live a comfortable and happy life, you need to get a firm handle on what you are currently spending, what you afford to spend, and what your priorities are. Before you embark on a budget, find a good template to use so you can just simply fill in the numbers for your expenses and income. I linked budget spreadsheet from Google Sheets and one from Office Excel in the description below. Check them out. I also linked the balance sheet PDF in the description below. While you can use an old-fashioned pen and paper to make your own budget, it's easier and more effective to use a monthly budget spreadsheet or a budgeting app. These contain designated fields for your income and expenses in various categories, as well as built-in formulas to help you figure out your budget surplus or shortfall with minimum effort. Do you use a budget or balance sheet? Let us know in the comments below. Let us start with how to make a budget in 6 simple steps. 1. Gather your financial records. It is pretty easy to come up with a list of 10 different expenses. Next are a few examples: rent or mortgage, transportation costs, car payment, electric, water, groceries, restaurants, trips, clothing, toiletries, electronics. 2. Add up your income. How much income do you expect each month? Gross income is the amount you earn before taxes and other payroll deductions. Net income is your take-home pay after taxes and other payroll deduction. Your net income is the amount on your paycheck. It is what we use to make your budget. To calculate annual income, you need to answer the following questions. Are you getting paid weekly or bi-weekly, semi-monthly, for example, on the 1st and the 15th of the month, or monthly? If paid weekly, multiply your take-home pay by 52. If paid bi-weekly, multiply your take-home pay by 26. If you're paid semi-monthly, multiply your take-home pay by 24. If you're paid monthly, multiply your take-home pay by 12. This will provide you with your net annual income. To determine your net monthly income, divide your annual income by 12. 3. Make a list of your monthly expenses. Write down a list of all the expenses you expect to have during the month. Here are a few examples. Rent, mortgage payment, car payment, other loan payments, insurance premiums, property taxes, phone and utility bills, child health care costs, tuition, gym membership, people forget that one a lot, your Netflix, your Disney Plus, stuff like that. Use your bank statements and receipts and credit card statements from the last 3 months to identify your spending habits. Define fixed and variable expenses. Fixed expenses are those mandatory expenses that you pay the same amount for each time, including items like mortgage, rent payment, car payment, internet service, trash pickup, and regular child care. If you pay a standard credit card payment, include that amount and any other spendings that tend to stay the same from month to month. If you plan to save a fixed amount or pay off a certain amount of debt each month, also include the savings and debt repayment in a fixed expenses. Here are some common variable expenses you might need to plan for. Groceries, dining out, clothing, personal care, entertainment, gasoline, home and car repairs, medical copays. If you don't have an emergency fund, include a category for surprise expenses that might pop up over the month and derail you from your budget. Start assigning spending values to each category, beginning with your fixed expenses. Estimate how much you will need to spend per month on variable expenses. If you're not sure how much to spend each in category, review the last 2 or 3 months of your credit card bank statement transactions to make a rough estimate. Adding up your monthly income and expenses. If your income is higher than your expenses, you're off to a great start. This extra money means you can put it towards funds like savings or paying off debt. If you have more income than expenses, consider adopting the 50-30-20 budgeting philosophy. In a 50-30-20 budget, needs and essential expenses should represent half of your budget. Wants should make up another 30%. Savings and debt repayment should make up about 20% of your budget. If your expenses are more than your income, that means you're overspending and need to make some changes. Step 6. You must review your budget regularly to make sure you're staying on track. You can also compare your monthly expenses to those people similar to you. Your elements of your budget aren't set in stone. You may get a raise. Your expenses may increase. You may have reached your goal or want to plan a new one. Whatever the reason, keeping track of your budget following the steps above. Let's talk about some common budget tips. Once you have set up your basic budget, customize it according to your financial situations and goals. Adjust your budget monthly. If you find you are overestimating or underestimating your expenses, keep an eye on large expenses that may occur every few months, such as your insurance payment. If you tend to overspend in certain categories, use budget hacks, such as switching to cash-only budget. Once your expenses are lower than your income, budget towards saving goals before you increase your spending. This one's important. Give yourself time to master your budget. The final tip in this budget and balance sheet video is to be patient with yourself. You can't expect to half your spending in months. Did this video help you make a budget or a balance sheet? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, or follow. Check out the links in the video description below. I have investment apps that I use. Check out my merch or check out the other social channels. The wrap up. Neither you can expect budgeting to feel easy in the first few weeks. Learning how to create a budget and sticking to it takes time and determination. So be kind to yourself. Remind yourself that this is a process and it's going to take time to change. The challenges you make today may seem hard and at times frustrating, but it will soon develop into a habit and you'll be very happy that you did. Try to keep your motivation for your budget by consistently referring to your budget. Have a little self-compassion. Budget from scratch can be hard, but it can also have long-term effects. Let me know about any struggles you have with having a budget. What keeps you from starting a budget today? Take time to learn the financial skills to improve your financial literacy and make your money work harder for you. We will see what's about to happen. Thanks, and have a good one.